Hello again, college football fans. You know, you'd think that as much as I've been blathering into this phone for the last several days about this football game that I would not have anything else to say. And I don't have much else to say, but there's a few little strands hanging around in the old Bama Randy's head there that he wants to address, considering, we've got another day. As a matter of fact, when you're watching this, it'll be the day of. It'll be Monday, the day of the national championship game. So, want to keep the videos flowing, want to tickle the algorithm, right where it likes it. So, doing my best, guys. Doing my best to grow the channel, Thanks for watching, by the way, if you are doing so. And I guess if you're hearing my voice, obviously you have to be doing so. But we don't want to get into some sort of existential regression right now, okay? We're talking about the national championship game. And I want to talk about this Alabama curse that everybody keeps talking about. Now, I am not on board with that whatsoever. That's ridiculous. Nobody's cursing anybody else. Now, there may be a little bit of a mental block that some of the players have because of the history that these two teams have, but I don't think that's a very significant thing because we see these sort of things overcome too many times. I mean, we saw Michigan do it with Ohio State earlier this season. So, mental blocks are, they're real, but there's definitely things that can be overcome easily, especially if you've got the right talent and the right players on the field. Now, this has never been my confidence. Obviously, I'm a confident fan because I'm a fan of Nick Saban and Alabama, which is going through the greatest era that any football team has ever experienced. So, I mean, there's just going to be a baseline of confidence because of that always. But the reason I'm confident in this game is because of what I've been talking about all season, which is the new era of college football that we're in, where if you have a killer quarterback and a high-powered passing offense on a good team, now the rest of the team still has to be good. That goes without saying, I would imagine at this point. But that's the way that championships are won nowadays. And if you don't have the big high-powered offense and the killer assassin of a quarterback, you're just going to be a little bit behind. And Georgia, if it hadn't been for Bryce Young, if Bryce Young hadn't turned out to be as good as he's been, if Alabama didn't have him at all, and if, he played some other sport and he hadn't been there this year, Georgia would have done it, man. Georgia would have turned back the clocks and they would have won a national championship game old school with, not a great quarterback, a quarterback that, his best attribute is that he doesn't turn the ball over very much, and stifling defense and running game and ball control, the old way that we all know and love. He would have done it, and he may still do it, and if he does it, I'll be the first one to congratulate him, and I'll eat all the crow. I know what a jerk that I've been, but that's part of my strategy for my channel, and also it just worked out to be such a coincidence that I started this doing these videos with the idea of pounding this theory that I have about how defense no longer wins championships. You've heard it a million times if you've watched any of my videos at this point. And then for the season to work out the way it's been, where it is just like a perfect example of what I've been saying. And so far I've been proven right. I was proven right in the SEC championship game, and I feel like I'm going to be proven right in the national championship game. So it's just kind of worked out this way. But I just want to say that I don't think it's an Alabama-Georgia thing. It's a player thing. It's the evolution that Nick Saban has gone through and the Kirby has refused to go through at Georgia is the reason that I am confident about this game. I mean, maybe it's a Kirby curse about the way he handles his quarterbacks and refuses to adjust, and on both sides of the ball, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But there's certainly no Alabama-Georgia curse, okay? Georgia can beat Alabama anytime they get ready to, but it just seems to me that they haven't decided that they're ready to yet. Now, with the up-tempo and everything and the high scoring, that's another thing I wanted to address. The offense isn't the only thing that Nick Saban has changed around since Kirby left. Defensive players, he started recruiting smaller, quicker linebackers. He's kind of gone away from the whole Terrence Cody, Jesse Williams, just a big block-absorbing middle tackle, Jordan Davis, case in point. Kirby's still trying to do it exactly the way he was doing it when he was at Alabama, and it's almost like he's just stopped paying attention to the evolution that Nick Saban's been going through because of up-tempo, high-scoring powered offenses and running quarterbacks and all the whole 9 yards. And another example of why this is not, another reason why I don't think that this is an Alabama-Georgia thing. I mean, I haven't mentioned this much. I've been giving examples of how Alabama has beaten Georgia over the years. But, I mean, when they ran into Joe Burrow in 2019, same story. Kirby had stuck with Fromm. He had lost Justin Fields at that point, and he was going with what he had, still trying to do the old school running and game-managing quarterback and defense, the big burly defensive seven, which is great for blowing out regular season opponents. We've talked about it so much already. But, they ran into Joe Burrow, and the high-powered offense was too much for that. I mean, and it's not like their defense this year is that much better than it was that year. And it's not like it's that much better than Alabama's is this year. As a matter of fact, I think right now Alabama has pulled almost even as far as their defensive play with Georgia. Now, obviously, I could be proven completely wrong by that tonight. And somebody told me, they were like, I heard somebody comment that, I didn't see it, I read it, where they said, I know you love the high-powered offenses. That is not true. I do not love the high-powered offenses. I grew up on defense. 1992, Brother Bill Oliver is my favorite Alabama team, probably always will be, because of the way that defense played. I was 10 years old, and I just was absolutely mesmerized by watching that, and I've always loved defensive ball. I loved that 27-6 victory over Cincinnati, pounding the ball with the running game, stifling defense, don't allow them to get touchdowns. That's the way I love to do it. Shutouts and no touchdowns being scored. That is what I love, and that's, kind of what I've predicted that Alabama is going to pull off in this game. So, no, obviously, the whole point of this is I don't think that it's an Alabama-Georgia thing. It's just that Kirby, for whatever reason, is still trying to do things the way that he did it when he was at Alabama, and things have changed since then, man, and you've just got to get up with the times if you're going to win national championships. And, I guess I repeated some of the same things that we've been talking about, but why not? It's like I said, I'm tickling the algorithm's fancy. And I guess now that you've watched this means that you're going to go get ready to watch this national championship game, and I just cannot wait to see it. I think it's going to be a beautiful thing, and if it's not, don't worry, Georgia fans. I will eat all the crow, and I will not act like it doesn't matter to me. You'll see how miserable I am. You'll see how heartbroken and sad I am. I'm not going to do what a lot of these chicken shit fans, I don't like to cuss a lot on this channel, but there's just no other way to say it. These chicken shit fans that talk all their talk, and then when their team gets beat, they say, I knew it was coming, and I didn't mean it. Well, I mean it. Believe me, I mean everything that I've said. And if y'all come out and win tomorrow, it's going to punch me right in the gut. Or tomorrow. It's not even tomorrow, but it will be tonight if you're watching this right now. But it will absolutely punch me in the gut, and I will let you guys see that, and I will let you enjoy it, because that is part of college football, and we all love it so much. And thanks again, if you're watching, for going through this journey for me. If you've been watching since I started back at the beginning of the season, it's been a whole lot of fun, and doing this has added to my enjoyment of the college football season, which I didn't even realize was possible at this point. But it is, and thanks again for watching so much, and roll Tide.